Have no fear, iROCK here. Here I come to save the day.
Hi, my name is Bam Bam Bam!
Hi, my name is iROCK, and you're watching my YouTube channel, iROCK RC. Alright! Aloha everyone. Hi, I am iROCK. Today I'll be doing a little overview on the Losi 8 gas truggy. Yes, gas truggy. I have just finished burning tank number 11. On my last video I finished burning tank number 8, and yes, I did a break-in process video or break-in video series. Yes, a very tedious and boring video. Yes, I'm sorry. But I felt like I wanted to share my knowledge and my experience and help all those people who got this buggy or truggy or even the monster truck, LST XL2 gas-powered monster truck. Yeah, I'm a very helpful person. I'm always willing to help people. I share my knowledge, my secrets. I don't hide anything. That is me. Yes, I am iROCK. Yeah, I usually don't talk in my run videos or videos that I do that I make outside out of the studio. There's a reason for that. Don't want to bore you folks to death. And right now I am jibber jabbering right now, but that's how it is. But anyways, yes, my break-in engine series video on this gas buggy. Yeah, very long and tedious process. People say that it's too much work. For me, it's not. I don't look at it as work. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself. I enjoy the break-in process because that's where you begin to learn and understand on how this buggy function and works, and you get to see the engine actually grow right in front of your eyes. It's like when I don't have a kid. I don't have kids. I'm pretty sure most of you do, and when you have a child, especially your first child, isn't it amazing? From the day they was born, even till today, but I guess especially in the first year when when you have a baby, when the day it's born, all the way when it turns 1 year old, it goes through many different changes and phases. The first 3 months, they have a certain characteristic or personality, and after the third month you see a slight their personality and characteristics change. Eating habits change, sleeping patterns change. They don't sleep as much, and then from that's about 3 to 6 months, and then from 6 months to maybe 9 months, every 3 months, you see them changing and growing. And that's amazing because you just through each phase you try to learn more. You learn something new about your baby or your child, and it's just amazing. You're just seeing that process, and that's the way I see this buggy going through the engine break-in. It's just an amazing process because you're watching the buggy grow in front of your eyes. You're listening to the engine change its different sounds and characteristics. If you folks have watched my break-in series video from the first tank of fuel all to tank 8, you can hear and see the different characteristics of this engine. Yes, it's starting to open up, rev a little higher, a little faster, and it's going to be pretty cool. So I just wanted to go over some basics after break-in. Yes, the first 8 tanks of fuel is the critical part of breaking in this engine. Yes, the first 8 tanks, but but in the instruction manual, it says to before you do any messing around with the high-speed needles or low-speed needle even, you want to go to 16 full tanks of gas. Each tank of gas, it's a small tank, so each full tank runs about 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. So it's not that long process. It's just, people just look at the number, and in actuality, it takes about 3 hours. I would say about 2.6 hours of run time to break in this engine, because like I said, 16 tanks times 10 minutes, about the average, you have 160 minutes, which equates to a little bit over 2 hours and a little bit over 2.5 hours. I just call it 2.6. Do the math. But I say 3 hours before you can actually see this, or actually 3 hours before this engine is optimized to its full potential. So where do I begin? Where do I start? I wanted to explain the low speed needle. I'm gonna point that out later on a close-up video, but low speed needle pretty much controls your idle speed. To tune that part of the low speed needle, basically when you have it off the ground like this, if the wheels spin, that means your low speed needle is running too lean, because the clutch shoe or the clutch is engaging. When they engage, it makes the wheel spin. So to run it at a good idle speed, you want the wheels to not spin or stay still. So if it spins, like I said, your clutch is engaging, so your idle needle is running lean or revving too high. So you want to counterclockwise until the wheel stops spinning. So that's the low speed needle. The low speed needle controls the idle speed and when the clutch engages to spin the wheel. Pretty much control the torque, because you need torque to spin the wheel. That is my point of view. It's not a professional point of view. It's not Losie's point of view. It's not Horizon's Hobby's point of view. My point of view is my own point of view. I could be wrong, but I could care less, because that's the way I see this buggy. And it's about your eyes seeing what you see in your buggy or your RC. And that's what I see, is the low speed needle controls the idle speed, and when the clutch engages, and to adjust your torque. So, and then we come to the high speed needle. What does a high speed needle what does the high speed needle control? Well, basically the high speed controls your top speed or your high speed. The higher the revs, the faster the buggy goes. So if you want to rev higher, get a higher top speed, you lean out the high speed needle. Basically, you turn it clockwise to close the needle. That way you let less fuel in and more air burns. And if you want to lower the top speed, you turn the high speed needle counterclockwise to let more fuel in. And that way it will cool down the engine and slow it down. I went ahead of myself there, sorry. Okay, so basically what I'm getting at is when you lean out the engine, letting less fuel into the engine, what happens when you put more air onto fire or put more oxygen in on a fire? It gets bigger and brighter and hotter. So that's what you're basically doing, is when you're leaning in and out the engine. You put there's more air. The fuel air mixture. You're adding more air than fuel into the engine. So that way, the the combustion is a lot greater because there's more air to burn, and that's why you get a higher top speed. If you understand? Did I? So yes, I'm trying to say this all on top of my head. So the more air you add, the bigger the combustion, because like I said, when you add oxygen or air to fire, it burns bigger, brighter, and stronger. So that's basically what's happening in this engine when you lean out the high-speed needle. It creates a higher combustion, which leads to more horsepower, which leads to higher top speed. So that's how it basically works. But when the engine works more hard, and you go and you have a higher top speed, like I say, when you add more air, oxygen to the fuel or to the fire, it burns brighter, bigger, and stronger, and gets hotter. So if you lean out the air fuel mixture, or lean out the high speed needle in this engine, the engine will get hotter. That's why tuning this engine is real simple and easy. It's basically you use a temp gun. You don't want to exceed 265 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not too sure what is that in Celsius. I'm thinking it's 110. I could be wrong, but I know you shouldn't exceed more than 265 degrees Fahrenheit on this engine. Basically, you aim your temp gun on the lower part of the engine, or on the bottom part of the engine head, and I would say you want to be around 250 to 260 degrees Fahrenheit. That's where you want to run the engine. 265 is kind of borderline. You may run into problems if you go higher than 265. But that is your own prerogative, and it's all up to you. So that's basically about a little bit of the tuning part. As we go further along in this journey with this buggy, I'll probably do it out there somewhere and kind of give you folks an idea how it works. But for now, I'm just kind of explaining it on top of my head. So I'm sorry if it's all jibber jabberish. Try my best. Okay, so on the next part, when you tune the engine, there's a lot of factors that go into it. And one of the biggest factors, and it doesn't only applies to this RC gas truggy 8, the low C8 gas truggy. It applies to anything that is even on your scale or your real vehicle. And what I'm talking about is elevation. If you're on lower elevation, the air is a lot thinner. That's why you can breathe a lot better when you're at sea level. And when you get to higher elevations, especially a mile high above sea level, the air tends to get a lot more thick, a lot more denser. So that is the reason why you get more lightheaded, and you have more difficult time breathing compared to when you're at sea level, because like I said, it's more condensed, so the air is a lot more thick. So what I'm getting at is the way this engine runs, or it's optimized, or runs, or how it performs is it also relates to your elevation. So the lower if you're at sea level, like I said, the air is a lot thinner, so you may need to run this a little bit more rich than you would if you was a mile high above sea level. If you're a mile high above sea level, you want to thin it out more than you would want it when you're at sea level. Get the picture? That part of the tuning and performance part of the engine, I think sometimes people get frustrated because you have to take your elevation or where you're at, sea level or above sea level, a mile above sea level, into consideration how the engine performs. Like I said, it won't perform at the same settings when you're at sea level compared to when you're a mile high above sea level. It's not going to perform the same. So you have to adjust the high-speed needle based on elevation. Okay, so that's all basically about for tuning this engine. The next thing I'm going to do is give you guys an up close. I'm going to show you a simple way to install the receiver battery. So I'm going to show you right now. So let's get to it. Okay, I'm going to remove the body. And then here we have is the receiver battery. Let's zoom in. Here is the battery receiver box. You just unscrew these two screws here, pop it off, and then you have your JST connector. Yes, it's a little bit dirty. I ran it in dirt already. And then here we have is your LiPo battery. This is the Spectrum 7.4 volt receiver battery pack for the 8 and 8T Chuggy 1300 mAh 2-cell LiPo battery. Okay, I know a lot of people, it's very tight in here and not too much space to maneuver or store. It's like, I know people would, how do you get all these wires like this and put the cover on to close it completely? Nearly impossible, right? Have no fear, iROCK is here. Here I come to save the day. So this is what I do. But before I proceed and show you what I do, this is what I do. I don't recommend anyone doing this. It is based on your own decision, because this may cause injury or damage your buggy or truggy. So yeah, I don't recommend it. So viewer discretion is advised. The technique I'm about to show is not, I don't recommend doing it, and I'm not encouraging people to do it. So basically, right in this receiver compartment right here is a little small opening or hole. This is where the wire comes through. Comes out right here, goes through this little hole. So this is what I do. I take this JST connector, I slide it right in the hole, right into this little hole, and voila, pops right out. Okay, and then I take my receiver pack. You can do this in two ways. You can put the balancing connector to the hole also, or could you just put the JST connector to this hole right through here, and that way you can slide that in there, and then you can have your balancing connector slide right in here, and then voila. And all you need to do is just screw it down. Another way you could install this receiver LiPo battery is you could also get the balancing connector. You run it through here first, through this little hole. Maybe check this out first. Okay, run your now we have the balancing connector through that hole. We get the JST plug from the receiver, run it through the hole, and then finally we get the JST plug from the LiPo battery, and we run it through the hole. Now, voila. There you go. Now, we have the receiver battery. Slide in the compartment. Once again, and see, voila. Now you can screw down the screws to lock in your LiPo receiver battery in the compartment, and then now connect your LiPo battery to your receiver. Make sure my receiver is on, and turn on this bad boy. One thing cool about this setup is that because now you, if you only have one LiPo battery and you don't have like several packs or extra packs with you, like I do, you can slide these wires down here, and after every full tank of gas, you can always check your voltage reading or your voltage on this LiPo battery. See. So after each full tank of gas, you can check out your voltage on your LiPo battery, without removing the LiPo battery itself. So right now I have two cells at 3.93. Okay. So I have two cells at 7.83 volts. Cell number 1, 3.9. Cell number 2 is 3.94. So it's pretty good to go. So yeah, that way you can check your voltage after each full tank of gas, and you don't end up running your LiPo battery below the 7.4 volts or 2.7 for each cell. That way you don't cause damage to the cells in your LiPo battery, which will, if you damage the cells in your LiPo battery, you might end up with the electrical short circuit. That is one way how I install my LiPo battery into this buggy or truggy, whichever one you have. The reason why I don't recommend installing it this way, and why you also have all the wires in the compartment, is because you're dealing with fuel, and electric and fuel don't mix. Yeah, that's the reason why, is because you may cause harm not only to yourself but to others, and cause damage to your buggy. That's why the reason why I don't recommend it. It's and I don't encourage it. I say follow the instruction manual, the manufacturer instruction manual on how to install the LiPo battery. This is the method that I use, and like I said, I don't recommend it. One last thing before I sign off. I know a lot of people are having issues or trouble with the throttle servo and steering servo and the receiver getting cut off from their DX2E radio transmitter. I don't use the DX2E radio transmitter for this buggy. I use my DX4S. The reason why I use the DX4S instead of the DX2E, because in the DX4S, it has a receiver LiPo voltage warning or cutoff. So that way it protects me from going too low of a voltage on my LiPo receiver battery. And that's the reason why I use the DX4S. I know many people with this buggy or truggy, they just use the radio control that comes with it. This doesn't have receiver low voltage warning. So that's why I recommend using or getting a voltage, a LiPo voltage reader. That way you can, after each full tank of gas, you can check your voltage on your LiPo battery. That way you don't run it too low. Yes, you don't want to run your cells below 2.7 volts. You run it below 2.7 volts or too low, you will cause damage to your cells in your LiPo battery, which in turn, like I say, will cause a short circuit or electrical short circuit in your electrical system, your receiver, throttle servos. Yes, when I say electrical circuit, you'll fry your servos or your receiver, and you cause damage to your buggy or chuggy, and won't be able to play with it. You'll get frustrated and want to toss the thing into the wall or something. So that's iROCK's quick tips on this buggy. Hope you folks enjoyed this video. I do have a update video that I want to do. I've been meaning to do it for a long time, but I just been so busy and so swamped. It's just been crazy. So much things going on. But I know one thing: in 2016, you're gonna see an evolution in my channel and in my videos. I've been experimenting a lot in my recent videos. That's why it's pretty boring and tedious. I just wanted to get a general idea how my viewers would react to certain videos. That way, in 2016, I know what direction I want to take my videos. You will see an evolution, a big evolution in 2016, and a lot of big things. Well, I want to say big things. You will see a lot of pretty cool, interesting things happening on the iROCK RC YouTube channel. And yes, I'll be launching my other channels in the near future. I'm working on that. That's the reason why I've been, I've been so busy and swamped. A lot of things going on. A lot of changes in my personal life. I recently lost a family member, my uncle, loved one. My grandma, her condition got a lot worse. Not too sure how long my grandma will have, but I'm not too sure how long my grandma will. I'm not too sure how long my grandma will live, or how long more I get to able to spend time with my grandma. My grandma means a lot to me. She was about 5 years ago. She was instituted in a state care home for the elderly. When she was first admitted to a care home, the first thing that came to mind, who in the craziest mind who be just mean enough, crazy enough to put their own grandma or mom into a care home. But that didn't stop me from visiting her every week at the care home. I spent a lot of time with my grandma. I made sure she got everything what she needed. I took very good care of her. And I came to understand that she was better off in the care home because she needed 24/7 care, which no family member could provide, because we have to continue living our lives and trying to make our life better and support ourselves. But I made the best of it. I always visit every week. Unfortunately, some things happened at state care home that she was transferred to a private care home, which was from being 15 minutes away from me. Now she's about 2 hours away from me. So it's been hard for the last 2 years. I hardly got the chance to visit my grandma, spend time with her, because she's 2 hours away from me instead of 15. And I thought I was able to be strong enough to handle it, but no, I can't, because my grandma means a lot to me. She's the world. Without her, without my grandpa, I wouldn't be here today in front of you guys. Yes, I'm sharing my personal story with you folks. So a lot of personal things have been happening. They're trying to resolve and take care of. But she has gotten a little bit stronger. So who knows? All I can say is I'm just preparing for the worst case scenario. I'm gonna spend try to do my best to try to visit her more often and spend more time with her. Because who knows? Can't take life for granted. We don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, so we make the best of it. Many obstacles in life, but obstacles can be overcome. No excuses. Just go out there and live your life. Do the best you can. Give it your 100%. Put all your heart and soul into it. And no matter if you succeed or fail, win or lose, first place, last place, so long you go out there and race, right? You race. and you give it your best. Don't give up. Don't make up excuses. You give it your all, you give it your best. And no matter what obstacle you have to overcome, you gotta make sure you can overcome those obstacles. You don't let it, use it as an excuse. You overcome it. You improve. You get better. You learn from the experience. No matter if it's a bad situation that you went through or a positive situation, you learn from every negative and positive experience. And you move forward in life. You get better. That's the only way you're going to succeed. You don't complain. Not once I have ever complained about this buggy. Oh, gas. Yeah, it's too much work, too tedious, too long. If you use that as an excuse, you're not going to succeed in life. Because only complainers complain, make up excuses, and whine. And what they do, they don't succeed. But the ones who don't complain, they don't give up. They're going to make sure this buggy's going to work. It's going to start. Engine's going to run optimal. And they're going to have fun. And they're going to succeed in life. And then what happens? You're going to hold that championship trophy and say, yes, I am a world champion. Once again, like always, I would like to thank all my subscribers and viewers for supporting my channel and watching my videos. Yes, without you folks, there will be no iROCK RC. I appreciate every single one of you from the bottom of my heart. So, till my next video, guys, take care and God bless, and aloha. Shaka. And I'm out.
Hi, my name is Bam Bam Bam.
Oh wait, I do have one more thing. Yes. By the end of the week, I should have uploaded an unboxing video. Now, do you want to take a guess? What's in the box?